And greetings everyone from Zilker Park in Austin, Texas. I hope you're having a great day. It's cloudy-ish and sunny, about 80 degrees. Today's class we're going to do some wrist and shoulder stuff, and yeah, hopefully it feels good. You can go ahead and start off in child's pose. So knees about as wide as your mat, sitting down on your heels, hands come out forward, and your forehead gently rests on your mat. Go ahead and settle in and take a few breaths here, fully expanding your lungs on every inhale and exhaling, creating a nice gentle flow in and out here. Arriving on our mat, letting all those other things in the day that have passed or have yet to be just remain where they are. They're not right here, they're not right now. And try to just arrive in the moment for class today. Few more inhales and exhales here. Greeting those thoughts that come to mind, and then just letting them fall away.
Great. Okay. All the wedding started.
On your next inhale, push up into all fours, tabletop. Wrists underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips, and just take a few rounds of cat-cow here. So on an inhale, dropping your belly, lifting your head. And on an exhale, pushing into the tops of your feet, pushing into your hands, arching your back. There's cat pose, that's right. And exhale, once again, creating that rhythm here of inhales and dropping your belly, and exhales and pushing against your mat. Do about 5 more of these at your own pace. Trying to connect the full movement of each inhale and exhale with the all the way dropping your belly, lifting your head, and exhale, fully pushing against your mat. Maybe one more. Excellent. Coming into a nice even spine, you're going to bring your left foot back, right hand comes out straight for spinal balance. Big inhale to prepare. Exhale, bring your knee to your elbow, crunch it in. Inhale up, nice and straight. Exhale, crunch it in. Inhale it up. And exhale, crunch and hold it for 3, 2, 1, and relax. Maybe pat out the tops of your feet, wiggle around a little bit, resituate yourself, whatever feels good. And you're going to do it on the other side. So right foot comes straight back, left hand comes out straight forward. Big inhale. Exhale, crunch it in. Meet elbow. Inhale up. Exhale in. Inhale up. And exhale, crunch it in and hold it this time for 3, 2, 1, and relax. So I'm gonna turn to the camera a little bit here. So start off in your tabletop with your Hands pointed out to the sides here. So pointed out against each other. Still about shoulders width distance apart. And then you're just gonna take some slow, gentle rocks left and right, forward and back. You can make little circles, but just trying to get into those spots that might seem like they need a little attention, need a little love. And then just take a few moments here just to move and breathe in your own space, in your own time, whatever feels good. Nice wrist stretches. Find some stillness here, and this time you're going to point your fingers back at you nice and straight, and you can play around with how far in front of your knees they go, and then you're just going to gently sit back as best you can. So this is more in like the forward to back plane, less movement left to right. And so if it's a little bit closer, it might be a little bit easier. If you move your wrists a little bit further out, you might find that you get a different sensation that you enjoy, or maybe you don't enjoy, and then you want to back it up just a little bit. But find that spot that feels good, wherever it is. And once again, if you want to add some movement, you can kind of rest on your heels and come back up. Add a little bit of dynamism. It's a good word. I think it's a word. Dynamitism. You can say anything. Ask Shakespeare. He just made stuff up all the time. And then inhale up. Maybe take a few twists around with your wrists. Continuing some wrist stuff. I know many people, I don't think how often you're like, I really need to stretch my wrists today, but maybe you've been typing a lot or writing a lot or arting a lot, whatever it might be. So you're going to take your left hand, point it straight out, fingers pointing down, grab your pinky, and then just gently bring it back. Keep your fingers nice and spread, and then and pointing down as best you can. We're going to go through each and every one of our fingers. I was going to say all 10, but I don't want to finger judge, finger shame. People have all kinds of fingers, all kinds of numbers of fingers. You never know. So however many fingers you have, we're going to do all of them. Moving on to your ring finger, gently bringing it back. Man, there's some pretty dogs in the park today. One was mean and barking at me, though. It was upsetting. Moving on to your middle finger. Keeping mindful of spreading your fingers nice and wide, continuing to point them, and your arm is nice and straight. It's like, I never thought I could be exhausted stretching my fingers and my wrist. Well, maybe not exhausted, but whatever. Moving on to your pointy finger. Index finger, I think that's what it is. Whatever. There's no like scientific name for your fingers. Well, I mean there is, but I'm not here to teach fingers, okay? I'm here to stretch. Moving on to your thumb. Bring it back. Phalanges. I know what they are. One more big inhale. And exhale, relax your hand. Flop it around. Just flop it all over the place. Whatever feels good. Feels good to flop. Play the air guitar. Whatever. So now you're gonna bring your right hand out. Fingers pointed down, fingers are nice and wide. Grab onto your pinky and gently bringing it back. trying to have a bit of focus on your posture. Make sure your shoulders are down and away from your ears, but still your hand is nice or your arm is nice and straight. Fingers are sprawled. Move on to your ring finger on your right hand, your ring phalanges. That's the scientific name for that one, ring phalanges. Moving on to, if you're in America, hey, I'm mad at you finger, your middle finger. Whew. Why is that one sore for me? I haven't been using it, I promise. Well, I mean, not for that. Moving on to your pointy phalanges. And then one more deep breath. And then on to your thumb phalanges. Two breaths here. And relax. Flop both your hands. Play air guitar with both hands. Whatever feels good. Yeah, it's one of those like double guitars. Or it could be anything. It could have one going out one way and one the other way. Use your imagination. You can do it. So sitting up nice and straight, getting into some shoulder action now. Both hands come nice and out. And just rotate backwards. A really simple movement here, but man, if you do this for very long, you will feel like you've gotten an exercise. So we're gonna do it for very long and feel like we've done an exercise. And don't worry about how big your circles are. I promise you, if you're doing tight little circles here, you're gonna feel it. It's gonna feel nice. 3 more breaths here. And now rotate it the other way. Hopefully feeling some heat in those shoulders now. 3 more breaths here. And relax. So, flip your feet around, plant them out behind you. Let's come into the first downward facing dog of the class. And since it's the first one, take your time getting into position here. Maybe pedal into your left foot and into your right foot, straightening those. Wiggling your hips a little bit. Just trying to find all those little spots that might need a little love, might need a little attention, need a little, that's fun to say, need a little. Finding some stillness here. Feet are about hips width distance apart. And then just inhale, come into a plank. And then exhale back. Maybe bend into your feet. Inhale, plank. And exhale, come back down. Inhale up. And exhale back. Inhale. You get it. And exhale. 5 more of these. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And back. And forward. And back. And one more. Inhale. And back. Drop your knees. Come into a child's pose here. And then just to get a little bit more into your shoulders, tint up your fingers or your hands just a little bit higher for a little different sensation in the shoulders, a little engagement. Check to see if you're holding any tension in your shoulders, and then just let those shoulder blades kind of wash over and down your back. 3 breaths here. One more big inhale. Exhale, relax your hands down, push into them and back to a downward facing dog. Inhale, right foot comes up, toes pointed down at your mat. And exhale, knee to nose. Inhale up. Right knee to right elbow. Inhale up. Exhale, right knee to left elbow, twisting to your left. Go ahead and straighten out that left foot, or right foot, coming into a modified side plank here. Left arm comes up, right foot is nice and stretched out. Make sure this right arm is as directly underneath your shoulder as you can. One more big inhale here. Exhale, plant your left hand, inhale that right foot up. And exhale it down to meet the left. Wiggle just a bit. Find some stillness. Inhale, left foot comes up. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale up. Left knee to left elbow. Inhale up. And exhale, left knee to right elbow, twisting to your right. Bring that left foot out straight. Right arm comes up. For a modified side plank, opening up to your right. It's windy in the park today. One more big inhale. Exhale, plant your right hand. Inhale your left foot up. And exhale it down. On your next inhale, slowly walk your feet up behind your hands for a forward fold. And get nice and low in this forward fold, so if you need to rest your belly on your legs, that's fine. Just relaxing those shoulders down, maybe grabbing opposite elbows. Take a moment here, maybe flop left and right a bit. Finding some stillness, maybe dropping your hands. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, root to rise. Reverse swan dive all the way up. Exhale, hands to prayer. Coming into a tree pose here. So you can either have, in tree you can have your foot here below your knee or above your knee, even if you need to get a little help. But just don't put it directly on your knee. You don't want your knees to bend that way. And then figure out where you want to do with your your arms. You can lift them up. You can keep them in prayer. You can interlock them behind you for a nice shoulder stretch. But whatever feels good, you can leave them on your hips. And then try to find that point in the distance that you can focus on. And breathe. Opening up that right knee out to the right for a nice hip stretch. 3 breaths here. One more big inhale. On an exhale, cross your right ankle over your left knee and then come into a modified one-legged chair here. So should get out into the outside of your glutes down into your right leg. Hopefully feels good. Don't worry about how low you have to go. If you can only bend down a little bit, that's fine. But try to push yourself a little bit and see how low you can go. 3 breaths here. One more big inhale. And exhale, forward fold. Hello, pup. Hello. You are all wet. Yes, you are. Inhale, halfway up. I don't know whose dog that was. Exhale, fold. Inhale, root to rise all the way up. And exhale, hands to prayer. Coming into tree pose on the other side. So wherever you were, try to match it. But you know, you might be feeling differently in the different sides. Just remembering to keep your foot above your knee, your right knee. And then finding that point in the distance, focus on it. It's kind of weird in the park. I don't want to seem intrusive and stare at people. Thankfully, there's not a lot of people this way that I'm looking. Keeping in mind to try to relax your shoulders away from your ears. Don't hunch them up. Nice and relaxed, just flowing down your back. 3 more breaths here. One more big inhale. Exhale. Hands are coming into prayer, crossing that left foot over your right knee, coming into a one-legged chair on the right side. And if you fall out of this, don't worry. Just come back into it. But these balancing poses, a lot of times they can get into the top of my feet. Top of my feet start to hurt a little bit, or I feel a sensation in the tops of my feet. And that's good. It means it's working. 3 more breaths here. Big inhale. Big exhale. Inhale, come up. And exhale, fold. Once again, you might want to sway left and right. Actually, on an inhale, come up a little bit. However far, keeping your back nice and straight here, as straight as you can. Just come up to where your fingertips are just off your mat, and then just twinkle your fingers over to the left. Try to make sure your feet are still pointed straight in front of your mat. Just twisting from your hips for a nice sensation there. And then maybe spidering them over to the other side. Spidering, twinkling, whatever. It's practically the same thing. And then just take a few of these in your own time, in your own breath. Just kind of slowly moving back and forth. Really trying to feel into your hips here and get into some tight areas that you might have. And maybe you linger once you find that place and you try to add some subtle movements that might feel sort of good to stretch out those hard to reach hips. And then at your own pace, finding a nice centered position here. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, plant your hands, coming into a low plank here. So if you need to drop your knees, you totally can. This is just a little too much. Otherwise, knees come off the ground. You can bring your fist on your mat. You can interlock fingers for a nice low plank. And you're gonna walk those feet up for dolphin pose. So don't worry, you're not gonna walk up as far as if you were in downward dog, most likely. You should start to feel this in your hips. Hips and shoulders and maybe all over. Big inhale. Exhale. Step it back to a plank. And we're just gonna go back and forth from dolphin to plank here. So on an inhale, walk those feet back up. 3 breaths here. And then exhale, back to a plank. 3 breaths here. On your next inhale, you guessed it, walk your feet up to dolphin. Told you we were gonna get into shoulder stuff today. 3 breaths here. And exhale, back to plank. One more time. 3 breaths here. Inhale, walk it up to dolphin. Last one. You're doing great. Big smiles all around, I'm sure. 3 breaths. Exhale, drop your knees, untuck your toes, come back to a child's pose. You did it. Good job. I knew you could do it. You're amazing. Three more breaths here. On your next inhale, slowly push up. So swing both feet out in front of you, crossing your left foot to the right side of your right knee. Left arm comes back behind you. Inhale that right arm up. And exhale, bring your right elbow to the left side of your left knee, twisting open to your left. Make sure that front foot, you got your toes pointed up at the at the ceiling or the sky. I guess if you're under a gazebo, is that still the ceiling? I don't know. I guess so. Deep thoughts. Three more breaths here. Maybe looking back behind you. On an inhale, come back around just for a little counter twist the other way, just for one breath. And then relax. Left foot comes out straight. Right foot's gonna go to the left side of your left knee. Right arm comes behind you. Inhale, left arm up. Well, that's just a nice view of the city. And exhale, left elbow to the right side of your right knee, twisting open to your right. I often marvel how lucky I am to have such a wonderful park and such a wonderful city. It's really nice. Three more breaths here. One more big inhale. And exhale, release, twisting over to the other side just for one breath in and out. And exhale, relax. Right foot comes out straight, coming into a seated forward fold. So back is nice and straight. Inhale, both arms up. And exhale, coming forward. Don't worry about how far forward you can go just yet. You know, everybody's body is different. So if you can only come down bending and touching your knees, maybe you come down to your shins, maybe you can come all the way down in your forward fold, grab your toes or grab your feet. Just stay within your practice. Feel good. You're doing great. With every inhale, maybe coming up and straight, and then exhale, really just trying to hinge at your hip for this forward fold. Three more breaths here. On an inhale, slowly release and come up. Scoot forward just a bit. Go ahead and have a lie down, crossing your right ankle back over your left knee, forming a figure four, taking that right hand, feeding it through the loop, grabbing either the backs of your legs or maybe all the way to your shin. Flex your right toes back up towards your knee just to help protect the integrity of your knee. And then if you'd like to lie down and bring your knee down, you can. If you want to add a little core workout, you can stay up wherever you are. Just whatever your body tells you that you need, go there. Be here for about 5 breaths. One more big inhale. Open mouth exhale. Relaxing it down. Maybe flop your feet a little bit. Windshield wiper your knees left and right for just a few breaths here. Whatever feels good. This always feels great for my lower back. Finding some stillness and then crossing your left foot over your right knee. Feeding your left hand through that hole and bringing that right knee down closer to your face. Left toes are flexed back at your left knee just to make sure you don't harm your left knee. Knees are sensitive. Be kind to your knees. There's gonna be one day where I'm gonna try to go up some stairs and my knees are just gonna go, nope. And I'll be like, man, I just got old. But not today. 3 more breaths here. Make them count. Nice, big, full inhales and exhales. Filling up on an inhale from your belly all the way up through your chest and into your throat. And exhale, bringing your belly button to your spine cinching it in for an equally long exhale. A couple more of those. One more big inhale. And exhale, open mouth. Relaxing everything down. Windshield wiper your knees one more time. Left and right. Flop around. Finding some stillness, grabbing onto your knees, rock up and down your spine a few times. And then coming back up to a downward facing dog. On an inhale, right foot comes up and back. Exhale, right knee to right wrist, right ankle to left wrist for pigeon. Left foot is nice and straight back behind you. Take just a moment to have a slight back bend on your inhale here. Really feel it from your shoulders all the way down to your sacrum. And then exhale, slowly moving forward, either onto just your hands, maybe you get down to your forearms, and if it's within your practice, maybe all the way down to your forehead. We're gonna be here for a little while, so if you have to move and wiggle and rearrange yourself just a bit, go for it. You don't have to be still, you don't have to be silent, you can move. Tell your body what you want it to do, and then go do it. Three more breaths. Make them count. One more big inhale. Open mouth exhale. Melting onto your mat, slowly pushing yourself back up. Planting your hands, tucking your back toes, inhaling that right foot all the way back up. Big stretch here. And exhaling it down. Pedal it out for just a couple of breaths here. Finding some stillness. On your next inhale, left foot comes up and back. And exhale, left knee to left wrist, left ankle to right wrist. Taking a moment here for that back bend, really feeling that line of energy from the crown all the way through your spine down to your glutes. Big inhale. And then exhale, coming forward once again to wherever you are in your pigeon practice. I would love it if somebody was just practicing to become a pigeon. So wherever you are, coming down to where maybe you were on the other side, keeping in mind of kindness if you can't get to the same spot, and then just settling in, creating that gentle rhythm of breath here, filling up with every inhale, bringing your belly button to spine with every exhale. Make them count. Three more breaths. Big inhale. Open mouth exhale. On your next inhale, slowly pushing back up, planting your hands, tucking those back right toes, inhaling that left foot up and back, big stretch. Exhale that foot down, walk it out one more time, or pedal it out, whatever you want to call it. Walk your feet up behind your hands, drop your butt. If there's any other thing that you would like to do here before Shavasana, now is the time. Otherwise, settle in for a nice corpse pose. Maybe wiggling it out enough to where you don't really have any major point of pressure on any part of your body, so your weight is evenly distributed. You're nice and relaxed. Shoulders are tucked back and down your spine. And take these last few moments of class to breathe in some good vibes, some positive energy, some good and kind thoughts to yourself for being such an amazing person, just to make it onto your mat today. And move and breathe with all of the other beautiful things moving and breathing around you. Keeping in mind that thoughts will come, and you can greet those thoughts however you would like. You can go down the wormhole of trying to figure all the things out at once, but that's not what you're here for. So greet those thoughts, save that wormhole for another day, and just be where you are on your mat, knowing that you're exactly where you're supposed to be, doing exactly what you're supposed to be doing. Checking in to see if you're holding any tension behind your eyes or in your forehead. All the way down through your neck and back. Consciously releasing anything that might be in your upper back, or your mid back, or your lower back. Checking in with your glutes, into your calves and your upper legs. Down through your knees. Even out your toes. Just relaxing with every exhale. With every inhale, breathing in that good light and energy. And exhale, just melting all that goodness onto your mat. If you'd like to add a few bits of movement here as we're coming out of Shavasana, maybe wiggling your toes, wiggling your fingertips, just enough for sensation and awareness. And then maybe that movement grows into your wrists and ankles, elbows and knees. On your next inhale, sweep both arms up over your head, interlocking your fingers, flipping your palms, maybe pointing your toes for a big stretch. Coming over to one side and pushing up to a nice seated position. Well, I hope that this class was super great for you guys. It was certainly fun for me. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you have a wonderful afternoon, and I can't wait to see you guys on your mat soon. Have a wonderful day. Thanks much. Pew, pew, pew.